Hello everyone, I'm Shodredux, and I will be doing a Battlefield Play for Free commentary. If you enjoy it, please subscribe and comment and rate. Today we'll be playing on the map Karkand. It also is a very old map from Battlefield 2. It's an oldie but a goodie. It still maintains the same elements, meaning it's basically infantry and ground vehicle map. There's no air vehicles or anything of the sort like that. I won't be discussing my current loadout as my infantry class because the entire round I pretty much play in the tank. So I'll just discuss how the tank works and how you should roll around with it and some tips and stuff for you guys. So the first thing you'll notice is the tank starts off with 1,000. I haven't got the the training kits yet to see if the armor on the tank either goes through and increases the health of the tank, or it just makes it more resistant to explosive damage and things like that, but that's besides the point. If you want to be able to use the minigun on this tank, you have to unlock it in the training. You just have to spend 1 point as far as being able to use the coaxial gun on the tank itself. So all in all, you'll have 3 things you'll be able to mess with when you're inside the tank driving around. You have your main cannon, you have your minigun, and you also have your rocket missile, your cover, pretty much, your smoke. First thing I'll discuss is actually the cannon itself. The cannon does have a very high amount of splash damage, which is really good against infantry and certain light vehicles as well. First, I'll just discuss how to take out infantry with the cannon if you don't know how to use the coaxial gun. Or if you don't have the coaxial gun unlocked. The cannon, like I said, has very high splash damage, so if you have an infantry that's hiding behind the wall or around a corner or anything like that, you don't want to aim the tank shell directly at them. Rather, you want to aim it kinda as best as you can towards the ground where they're at. The splash damage will take care of them, and you will have a better chance of dealing more damage and killing them than you would if you were to aim directly at them with the tank shell, because you could also completely miss them if you aim at them with the cannon. Also, using the coaxial gun, it's relatively easy. You can just go through from anywhere from close to medium range and pretty much take out any infantry unit. You do only get 25 bullets with the coaxial tank turret, and it does reload relatively quick, even for having 1 point to just unlock it. So I only have 1 point invested into it, just so I can have it as a secondary fire. The smoke, believe it or not, actually gets me out of some serious predicaments. The default to deploy the smoke is actually X, I believe, but I switched it to Z because of recording purposes. But the smoke does help with the locking on of certain rockets, and does make it harder for the engineers, rockets to hit you, as well as somebody that's controlling the tower missile. One of the things I like to do as far as gameplay wise, regardless if I'm in a tank or as an infantry or whatever, I do like to use the F button to look behind me and make sure that there's no enemies behind me or anything like that, or coming around the corner. You'll probably see that in another one of my game videos, how I use that to incorporate how I play. The tank shell, as you can see in this part here, it is relatively accurate even from a distance. It just takes a slow time for it to get there. I was trying to take out the guy up at the top of the building there, and I was hoping that the splash damage would get him, at least on the side, but it didn't. Just to explain this a little bit, there was a couple guys on the roof, and I just took a random pop shot with the tank shell, and pretty much the tank shell went through him. So I don't know what the statistics are on how plausible that is to happen, but that happened. Just as a side point, if you're looking to get extra points with the tank, you could go for headshots with the tank shells too. I mean, surprisingly enough, you can get headshots with tank shells and with the coaxial gun. So also, to let you know, the person that actually gains the tank should be someone of a domination control. And what I usually mean by that is actually someone who's proactive in going through and getting flags. The tank is a very protective piece of equipment to have on your team's arsenal. Pretty much the order you should go with the tank, especially at the start of the round, which you probably didn't follow necessarily, but you might want to take out the other enemy tank first before going through and capturing the flags, so that way you don't have any other threatening tanks trying to come after you. But it is a very good control point weapon to have, so you can go through and capture all the flags that you need. There are a couple of cons being in the tank. One of the cons is actually you are a big target for the enemy team, whether it be engineers or other enemy tanks or light attack vehicles. The other con in being in the tank is your field of view to notice this stuff isn't very great unless you go through and hit the C button, which is the default button to go out to third person in the tank. When you're in that view, though, you won't be able to aim as effectively as you would like with the turret or the flax, with the actual beam cannon and the flax. Yeah, so those are the two main things with the tank. And not only that, but your field of hiding so much in the tank is kind of limited as well. I mean, there are still a few spots that you can gain vantage points and go around, especially in the Karkand. But it's not really a it's definitely meant to be a lead role. Just one of the things I notice a lot when people actually get in a tank, one of the things you shouldn't do, which I did, is you kind of want to leave the engineer the tank, so that way he has the option to go through and heal. I'm actually playing on my recon class, but that's one of the first things you want to make sure. Whoever's getting the tank, if you're not engineer, you better be really good in the tank. So that's the first thing. You always want to get the engineer a chance to take the tank, because he can repair and get it up. The second thing is one of the worst things you can possibly do with the tank, especially if you're losing and not even taking control of the flag points, which I notice a lot, is a lot of people will take the tank right into the B side and just sit there. And they'll go through and just pick everybody off running down from, from the US side, or they'll just sit on the main streets between B to C and decide to have a conflict there and fight. Which it's not really proficient, because you have your infantry units running in there trying to capture C, which you need to be the lead push in there to go through. If you have wherever the majority of your infantry is at, you kind of want to lead that with the tanks, so that way everybody has enough chance to go and run out there and do what they got to do. Regardless if you actually lose the tank or not, do as much damage as possible and try to provide cover with the tank, for your infantry as well. I mean, that's definitely a proactive thing to do with the tank. But as far as the rest of the video goes, that's pretty much it that I have for my commentary today. I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed the video. I hope you guys subscribe, rate, comment, leave good feedback, and just message me some ideas. Thank you guys, and you have a good one.